So,
Members coming.
I have invited a special guest tonight. Her name is Lee Reynolds, and she has undertaken
Over your head.
a project, for lack of a better word, and it's a recycling project with the library benefiting from it eventually. So I've asked Lee to come tonight and share with you what her project is and how we can help her. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Lee.
Where would you like me?
You come right up here if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for having me. Gary, I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure.
I don't know if you all know what a gem the Millbrook Library is to this community. It has had more than 7,000 visitors this year to date.
Wow.
And it also has a new pollinator garden. And the bees are already taking place at the pollinator garden. I am embarking on a project on behalf of the Friends of the Millbrook Library, and it's the Trex Bench Project. And this was kicked off on July 1st, and we have a year to collect 1,000 pounds of plastic that you, and I have a handout here, plastic that you would not have in your recycling bin. For example, the Amazon envelopes. Bubble wrap, Ziploc bags, ice bags. If you got a case of water, the wrap that goes around there, and I will leave all this with you. But we have embarked on this, and we am happy to tell you we have collected 100 pounds to date. So we only have 900 more to go. So I kind of have renamed myself the Crazy Plastics Lady because I'm just trying to get the word out in this community about how we can do that. If we are able to collect 1,000 pounds, Trex, which does decking and that sort of thing, they will donate a bench to the pollinator garden at the library. And I'm just very excited to make you all aware and answer any questions that you have. I have these handouts, and my card's attached, so I'm,
Lee, where do people bring this stuff?
So the library has a collection box as well, and I have brought bags tonight. So these are 50-pound bags, and if you all fill up a bag, call me, text me, email me, and I will be your personal concierge service and come get your bag.
Can that be recycled?
Yeah, well, what we do, I take these bags that are filled, we weigh them, and we take them to Tops in LaGrange. And back in the back, there's a hole, so Tops takes this and Trex actually recycles the materials as well. So this is a community that is very enthusiastic about recycling, and here's another way to get rid of your dry cleaner bags or your, whatever fun things. And the response has been really terrific, and I'm excited about it. And I'm on a mission to see if we can't get a bench for the library.
Yeah. Well, we're hopeful that this will help get the word out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm, happy to meet with anyone, to talk to any groups, to just be an ambassador for this project.
Yeah.
So
residential recyclables only?
Just the items that are on
Just
this.
the items
Just the
that are
items
on.
are in there. So
Okay.
it's primarily the things that you do not put in your recycling bin.
What did you have in mind, Doug? Did you have a...
The white plastic wrap that we put on
Bales of hay.
bale.
Absolutely.
I would give you 1,000 pounds next month.
I will be there. I will be there. Maybe we can get 2 benches. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, and any shrink wrap, anything that. Yesterday, I was actually at Harney's Tea, doing a tour of their manufacturing facility, and I don't know if they donate, but they have a lot of plastic in there that they are using to, collect around boxes and tins and all that sort of thing. So great.
We'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, let me leave these,
Yeah.
and
Thank
thank
you.
you again for this opportunity,
Okay.
and I'm hoping that we can do this.
Yeah, we will. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you,
Great,
Lee.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thanks for
Yep.
having me.
Sure. Okay. It's a good idea.
Kristen, can we download that and put it on our Facebook page?
Absolutely,
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That'd help her out a lot.
yeah.
That'd be
I was
good.
thinking that too, those big marshmallows.
Yeah, sure. We've unwrapped one every day.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, we probably throw out 20 pounds every day.
Do you really? Wow.
Plastic, off the wall, yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. She appreciates that. Okay. Doug, I'm gonna have you do the next one. The motion to reappoint.
Okay. Yeah, guys, not everybody doesn't know, we have until October 1st, state law to reappoint our town assessor for a new term. I would like to make a motion now to reappoint the current town assessor, Lisa Evangelista, for another term.
Second to that motion? Nobody wants to make a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. We just talked about the fire contract. Does anybody have any questions before I go ahead and sign it?
I do not. So we'll get the next one in January for the 26th year, is
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Probably should have a
Hopefully in
motion.
December.
Yeah, just to do this minute, part of the contract minutes.
Okay.
Somebody
Yeah.
make that
I'll make that motion.
Second to that.
I'll second
All in
that.
favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Harry.
Is there a question, Tim, about the contract?
Yeah, you already signed it in December.
Why does it come out again?
So did we sign it for the full year?
Yeah.
We did.
I don't know, Peter
You already
Dwyer
signed it.
sent it to me and said to put it on the agenda for tonight.
Who said that?
Peter, send me an email.
Okay. Well, one of the
So I did.
clarification is, Gary, did you get the email from, that contract has the numbers in there,
Yes.
that were the estimate based on, before we did the budget, before the village did the budget this year. And I said to you, that was based on old asset ratios. And the new asset ratios, we're gonna change those numbers. In the contracted page, it says, in addition to your portion of the 600,000, you're gonna pay an additional every month for 7 months
Mhm.
adder,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
in there.
There's a number that's in there, but that number is higher than what the actual, what you should be paying.
Okay.
That's 12,000 times 7.
So Tim, do we have a new figure?
So, I guess I want to know, Gary, I sent Peter an email saying, here's what you should tell Gary. This is back in March 27th. I don't know if you received that email.
I don't remember getting it.
Okay, so Pete's been pretty good about following up on this kind of stuff. And I just want to make sure, well, you should go verify the numbers, because what it does is it changes the monthly payment,
Mm-hmm.
which is in the contract for $12,417 per month. for
Do you
7
have
months.
the numbers?
Yeah,
What is
Okay.
ours? So what are they?
12,138. So here's a copy of the email I can give you, which is,
So ours says $12,417.
right, that's based on the email I sent and going through the budget process, which happened after that contract was issued and signed, by the way.
So what's the new number?
12,138.
So it's
Can we-
lower.
Yes, lower, because the asset ratio.
Can we just change it here?
So I remember
Well-
that conversation, Tim, but what I'm trying to figure out is, does our treasurer know that?
I,
And if we've been paying this, because here again, it's August now, so we should be getting reimbursed.
Right, you paid 3 months, I assume.
Yeah,
Right.
So I guess I would ask Gary that you follow up with Peter.
yeah,
All right,
And first off, see if you got the email that's dated. I just sent it to Peter, said, here's what you should tell Gary, which is following the same format I sent you in prior years.
yes,
And so I was looking for Peter to forward this on to you.
yes.
And
and maybe I just didn't get it,
Yeah,
or
okay.
maybe, whatever, but.
So
So-
Tim, does the February and March numbers stay the same
yes,
at 326 and 327?
that's right.
Okay.
That stays the same. You
Yeah.
already paid that.
Right,
But I'm saying you should verify
okay,
June,
Okay.
July, and August should be the newer, lower numbers.
okay.
Okay.
Because we just gotta be consistent. And
Mhm.
as we said at the budget meeting, the asset ratios are changing. And this reflects what the change is.
So about almost $1,000
Yeah,
reimbursed.
yeah.
Well, it just makes it correct.
Right.
It's something on mine, it's just,
All right, thanks, Ted.
So, back to this contract. So, maybe perhaps we should have a new one. Well, being as we've already signed it, but maybe perhaps we should have a new one reflecting the monthly numbers correct from June, July, and August. So perhaps we can do
Yes.
this next month.
Somebody needs to reach out to Peter.
Yeah.
Did you make a note to do that?
Yep.
Thank you.
and I'll be happy to be part of that conversation if you need me, but I think it's pretty much set.
No, it's- thank you,
With the
Jim.
email, so.
Yeah. Joe, I'm gonna let you handle the next one.
So, the next one is the Killern Road project, so we have to, continue on with the next phase of the SECRA, and, now it's phase 2 and 3. And in order for us to, for the planning board to, issue approval for our permits, and hopefully they will, this has to be done. So, I don't see the draft copy of, I don't know if I sent you that, as
Oh.
far as, Kyle, what do we have to do? You sent us a resolution,
Right.
so did I give you that resolution?
Yeah, I printed
Okay.
everything out, it's all in
Yeah.
here.
Right. So you've got your parts now, 1, 2, and 3 have been completed.
Yes,
Mr. Warner, I understand, prepared those as well.
yep,
Do you have it in there?
Based upon, and he
don't
also
have mine.
prepared a narrative.
I have that, I don't have the resolution.
There's a stack out there on the stack of the,
Okay, so,
on the,
yeah, okay,
Yeah, you want to, there's an extra
that's
copy.
okay. No, I just wanted to double check it wasn't
So,
in here. Thank you.
Mr. Warner prepared a narrative, basically outlining the circumstances of supporting a negative declaration. So now this resolution basically adopts that negative declaration.
Yes,
And so the process is to motion. I mean, you could read the resolution if you like, but otherwise, at the very least, motion, second, and take a vote.
okay, so should we read that or not? So we just,
The-
they know that we're
We can
adopting
sum
a
it up by simply
resolution.
saying that
Yeah.
parts 1, 2, and 3 have been completed. The board had considered all the various determinations as to whether for significance under 67.7, including items such as water, traffic, noise levels, waste pollution, any impacts on vegetation, whether there's any designated critical environmental areas. It's consistent with the town scenic roads objectives and the comprehensive plan. Will not impair any historical, archaeological, or architectural aesthetic resources, and will not result in any major change in energy use or create a hazard to human health. And will not attract a large number of people, create demand for other actions with significant impacts, or result in cumulative adverse impacts. So based upon that,
Make a motion to adopt.
Second. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. So now, continuing on with this, we have to pass this along to the same people that the CAC, right, and who was that?
your other involved agencies.
The involved agencies, but also I just want to make sure, it was the last two, and the name escapes me, that we had to do,
Your planning board,
yes?
Highway Department.
You
The
can.
highway,
It's in the law.
Yeah.
CIC,
highway.
but it was some sort of, like, the military, like.
Army
Oh, Army Corps of
The Army
Engineers.
Corps of Engineers,
Yes.
yes. Please remember, yes. So all that can be, just, and then, do we need to post this?
I don't believe it needs to be, I would put it up on your website.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't need to be
So
posted.
we're,
here.
we
Put it
have,
up on your website.
okay, we got everything covered. So in September, we should be in good shape.
You should be in good shape. I anticipate the planning board will give you approval.
Okay. All right,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
Gary, are you open to a comment on this?
Excuse me?
Are you open to a
Yeah,
comment?
sure.
This was at the planning board.
Yes.
I offered up a question that was suggested by my colleagues, it's a more appropriate question for this group. It's not as much a suggestion as a question. Given the kind of rains we've been seeing, are you comfortable with the materials now, material selection? And do you want to consider any additional warranties from any of the vendors that you're going to be working with on this regarding the, because we talked about the expectation
Yep.
for this, and I figured out the numbers. 15 years was something pretty impressive. But
Mhm.
would you consider asking for more, or just asking for more specificity? We're also preserving some trees, other things that may have an impact on the warranty.
You mean
So-
because like of the extreme weather conditions like that we've
Yeah,
been
I mean,
having?
the kind of weather, the kind of rains we're seeing, and the problem with this already is the erosion is what's driven all of this. Planning board looked at some of these issues, but these are the actual
But hopefully
agreements.
the corrected drainage would take care of that, I
Yeah.
think. Doesn't
The
hurt that.
drainage will
Right.
help,
Yeah.
the materials
of the
put
road.
down, but I cannot myself say, as of right now, after 15 years, how we can have a warranty for any dysfunctional, like, it's, to me, I've never seen that.
Yeah, we can ask.
I'm not suggesting that maybe it's longer, I'm just suggesting you may want to take a look at what it does
Yeah.
and doesn't cover, and
Yeah.
how comfortable we are with it, given
Yeah,
the conditions we're seeing.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to give us your report?
Sure. Highway garage. Quotes next week, hopefully we'll be in. We have dealt with the insurance company. We have a permit from the village, because the building is obviously in the village. We have an engineer's report specifying the work that needs to be done. And we've done the cleanup and basically covered up the roof for now, so that it's usable. Should have those quotes hopefully next week. I'm not required to do anything but quotes at this point because I'm not even sure of the price. So that's what I'm doing.
How did it hold up yesterday, that rain?
Good.
No,
Good.
no problem?
Yeah, no problems. No problems. We had
Joe.
a couple incidents in the beginning, but
Quick summary of what the damage was.
damage was mainly to the roof. That was, I noticed when this thing was put in, I think there's 6 or 7 layers of shingle on that back side of the roof. I'm trying to get it extended. It does extend. The two-bay garage, the large two-bay garage, the roof is the same as the roof on the 3-bay garage. When the insurance adjuster measured it, he used a very small tape measure. That he got from his knitting basket, I think, and he didn't measure a lot. So we're measuring a little bit more and proposing in the workup for the work to be done that because they are the same roof, that they continue across and finish the other one.
But the
I'm not sure how they're
rafters,
going to.
Damage to the rafters?
yeah, some of the rafters.
There's
had-
about 3 rafters that are damaged. They'll be what's called sistered.
Right.
They'll be added to there and bolted in. There is some little damage to the side wall, a hole about that big.
And that's all part of your quote?
It is, everything's part of the quote, yep, so, and there was hardly any water damage, so, we got lucky to just having, we had the storm when we were there, so we sort of got it. Anyway, Route 82, I'd like to take credit for that, but I suspect someone more important than me made the phone calls that we made. It's got done, that's good. We got 300 ton of millings out of it for free, that's about $6,000.
Where is it?
It's over here in the lot. So they had to dump it quick and we volunteered the lot. You have installed now about 1,000 feet of guide rail on 3 roads, Burbank, Stanford, and Butts Hollow. Sorry to the farmer about the Butts Hollow one.
We already widened them.
It's, huh?
We
You
already
widened them already?
widened them. Yep.
I knew just driving by that would happen. Good, good.
We were stuck on the other side, so.
Yeah. Gas tank replacement, I come to you for, obviously for some money, a good amount of money in the budget.
Yeah.
Can't seem to get anybody to be able to do both. It's strange, but we are in contract to do the gas tank. The materials are under government contract. The labor is under a county bid. So we did well.
What do you mean by both, Joe?
Both tanks.
Oh, both tanks.
But I will get the other one done. I will have it done. I'm trying to do this under government contract. It's hard to find them, okay? One of the vendors has said, yeah, he'll do it. So we got a good price. I think to install a new pump, new tank, to remove the 4,000 gallon tank was $14,000. So it's a good price. So we'll see what the other one comes to, but I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay, good.
And the other thing is School Road. I'm thinking of shimming School Road this year. I wasn't going to do it, but I can hardly plow it. I'm not going to do a great deal to it, but it needs to be shimmed, which is an inch. So I'm going to get a price, and I don't think it's going to be much. It's just a mile. Prices are actually going down somewhat.
Good,
So,
great,
just a heads up.
yeah.
And that's it.
Can I make a comment before Joe is finished? For the last 3 years, we've had a serious problem on the west side of the horseshoe. An underground spring was percolating up in the middle of the road and basically deteriorating the blacktop. And we couldn't, through research, they were trying to figure out what the problem was, as were the neighbors. Even winter plowing was digging up the blacktop and throwing it on people's lawns and stuff. Last week, his 4-man crew came in, they dug it up, they discovered what it was. They did a perfect job. Unfortunately, the heavy rain washed it all out twice and filled up the catch basins where they had to empty them out. But today, they came back, they redug it, they blacktop, and it's perfect. And I just want to give a high compliment to that crew that worked that.
Good.
They came in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they worked straight through to about 1 o'clock, and it was perfect.
Yeah,
So the residents on the road are very appreciative.
good. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Any questions?
Yeah. No?
No. No, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Lisa, want to give us your report?
Yes, sure. So, the end of August, we had the windows all replaced, if you know that, was gonna allow that on us, which impacted us 5 windows in my department. Along with that, the floors were redone in our office area, not the conference table area. So that's done, it's all back together and we're up to speed. And again, Matt will elaborate on that more. Also, we did, during that time, set up temporarily an IT room. Tried to work around that best we could. We did run into some issues with that computer, unfortunately. Don't know why. IT had several, so we spent hours on it. So we might have to look at getting a new one for that. There's a need for that. So currently we have 8 scars in one Article 7 case for this year that I've received. There's still time to receive more, so I will be working on those soon. I'm going to get through sales first, and then I'll be working on those. Data collector position is still open and accepting resumes. I did interview somebody today.
Are you getting much response?
Yes, yeah, but not what really we're looking for. I guess.
So, Lisa, continuing with our conversation that we had with Doug and I, are we going to hire? Do we feel the need to hire one if we perhaps go ahead with the reval and have the reval do the data collecting?
I mean, that's gonna take some time, so in the interim, I think you still need to keep moving forward as much as
So,
possible. So,
could we find out how much time if we start soliciting reval companies, how long it would take? Could we start doing that?
This is what
So-
Lisa and I spoke about this and
Yes.
asked her, she's gonna reach out to some of those companies and give us some more.
It's going to
So-
take you about 2 years
It's going to take about 2 years for
for the reval
the reval to get started or to be completed?
to be completed.
So when
From
they-
start, from the time you hire somebody, to the time they're done, you're looking at about a 2 year.
Right. What I'm trying to avoid is having this data collecting, having it go through the process of 2 people part-time, yet we hire a reval company, our data collecting isn't finished, they want to continue to get it completed, and we're not sure if they're going to use what we've completed or they're going to want their own.
Yep.
Right? I mean, so that's
That's the question for
That's
the company.
question.
exactly. So we
Yeah.
need to find out from them. So you're gonna give us companies for us to.
well, I only know of a few. When I
Okay.
have a meeting with the Assessor Association, I'll see
Okay.
who else is using them. I did state currently, and I'm sure Kyle can attest to this too, that revals are not really happening right now because of the new RPS system.
Yeah.
So everything is kind of in a hold.
We just need to get in place the reval, and we
Yeah,
like
but there's a
the
lot of
time.
moving parts to that. It doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to go through the process.
Correct.
And what we need to do is find out who may or may not be available.
Right.
And, I can research as well, who may,
Yeah.
and then get started with that.
Right, yeah.
We've started to set money aside already.
Yeah.
Yes,
But obviously, it's going to be very expensive.
Yep,
And we need to know that.
yep.
right. Yeah, the scope of it is gonna change the price
Yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah, because we're,
Right.
we're coming up on,
Right?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's review. So anyway, speaking to that,
Mhm.
that is still gonna take some time to get that whole ball rolling. I don't think you guys really wanna be idle if we have the budget already for somebody else part-time. I am being clear that that is not a permanent position too, so.
It's also, we want to know that it makes sense to do data collecting that is going to be used by a reval company or not to do it if they don't want
Well,
it.
they're not gonna negate what we've
Yeah.
done, certainly. Absolutely, I mean,
They're gonna wanna go
honestly,
through the
our data
process.
collection is gonna be
Yeah.
more detail-oriented than you're gonna get.
They're
from it.
still going to want to go through and see.
Correct, but they're
Right.
not gonna negate what's done.
Yeah.
It's already done in RPS, the
Yeah.
sketches are done. It's, so if they choose that they have to review those again, then so be it. But they
Mm-hmm.
won't have to do anything on those properties because they've already been done,
Right.
so.
I think we'd want just confirmation.
We want
That
confirmation.
Right,
before we think about
Hiring
hiring
anybody.
somebody
Correct.
else, that we should
Yeah.
just
okay.
make sure we're not duplicating services.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, that's silly, I think, as far into it as we are, that we would spend money on that, because there's, it's a clean flow of data we have coming through right now, so I feel confident that what we've done is really about as good as it's gonna get. It's never gonna be perfect, no, in every town will say that. Your data is never at any point in time gonna be perfect. It's just impossible, but, if we could work around that, that definitely would save us some money.
Okay.
We could do that, and hopefully I'll know more too in the next couple of months what's going on with the new system and the timing, because not every module is gonna be done simultaneously. It's a rollout, the state predicts it's gonna be a couple of years. And I don't know where this county's gonna be in the mix. I don't have a say in that. That county makes that decision when we jump on board, so. But I will know more as time
Okay.
goes on, and then I will reach out to see who is still doing them in our town. I know some that are doing annual reassessments. I don't know if they're still doing it, and we go to a bigger company. The bigger company you go with is gonna be probably like Albany area, or even further north, and, you know, that's gonna be a little more expensive too, but I think we need to look at all of them.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Let's see, so, yeah, summertime, this is the time we always, because it's like a lot of switching gears with the roll year, we work on, different projects, so Kathy's been working on a few of those projects, and just taking everything out of the office, putting things back in. It was nice to kind of get some more organization and think about where things are going. We still have more ideas of what we'd like to do to consolidate things as we're cleaning out more and more information, but it's just finding the extra time to work on these types of projects. But, you know, we're making more and more progress to getting it in order as much as possible. And sales for June, and I did actually give you May again, because there's more of a lag with sales in the beginning of the, not whole beginning of the year, but like from February, March, April, May. The county does not run sales reports, so I've been reporting them from RPS. Now that the roll year is closed out, they are running reports again for us and sending them. So that I gave you revised numbers for May, because I don't know how they do their thing different than what's in RPS. Or that, I think also they hold back on processing a lot of applications. So there's a lot going on at different levels in the county that I'm not even privy to, and how they do their system, but I know a lot of things are kind of held on to until that's closed, and then a lot of things are processed very quickly. A lot seems to come through around this time. So June, we had 1 outside the village, 2 in, and then revised for May, we had 7 outside the village and 1 in the village. So there was several more in the town last for May. For July, reappraisals for me was 12, not a heavy month for that right now. Sales, 1, I'm very heavy into the sales right now. That has to get wrapped up, and also starting to work on getting ready for the SCARs and the Article 7. And then Michael had 22 parcels. Actually, he didn't, that's parcels. He didn't give me sites. It's probably more than 22. Which is actually a combination of the last couple of months, because again, it's transition to the roll year, so we always have like a month or two where there's not a lot of stuff that can get put in RPS because we're close out of it. So, yeah, so now we're back in it and we're rolling forward, so now we're kind of getting into our normal groove. Yeah. Any questions?
Other question?
Yes.
Some of the again, it's more educating us about what your department does. The state has forwarded to us a goodly number of information. There's a term called COD. It's called the coefficient of dispersion. What is that? Because they're saying that the COD is far more important than any equalization rate in any town. And they say that without a reading on the COD, you don't know how equitable or fair your assessment roll is.
Right, the state does those numbers for us.
Who does?
The state runs all that analysis for us, the coefficient of dispersion. And so I don't actually handle that analysis. Our
So there's no way
representatives-
of doing an internal evaluation of that? Because the way I read it is that you take a graph, you put the median price, and then you plot those that are above and those that are below, and that forms the flow within the town. And a good
Right.
read on a COD in a rural area is 20% is acceptable.
Okay.
So that variation, 20%. And they say that gives you a better read on whether your property evaluations and how you're levying the tax is equitable across the entire amount of parcels within the town. So you can't do that internally, it's got to come out of the state.
That's correct. They do all that analysis for us. We don't have this software within RPS to handle that. They have separate modules they use for all that analysis. That's what they're there for, to help us with that. And that is definitely an aspect of what it is used to determine that equalization rate. So even though it says that that's a better number, that's just, there's many ways that they go about calculating that number. The coefficient of dispersion is just one of them, the approaches they use, so, yeah.
There's no way that in a town like Washington that we would stay 20% from the median. You're talking about 20% to the highs and the lows from the median?
Yeah.
I mean, we have such a, if you just take the Hitchcock estate, for example,
Right.
at 65 million,
Correct.
Right.
that's way more than 20%
Well, they're out,
above our
that's-
median.
Yeah, that's an outlier though, so
But
that's, yeah.
if you look on Zillow right now, there's 10 of them that are listed above $12 million in the town
Right.
of Washington. I mean, I don't think that number is gonna,
It's not gonna get
it's
down.
not gonna apply to us though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way,
Plus your village prices are starting to, they're pretty high on Franklin Avenue and Maple Avenue. so-
Franklin and Haight Avenue.
What's that?
And Haight Avenue.
Hmm.
We've had a few
One
good
went
ones
on
on that
here.
road.
Oh, I know.
lately, too.
Huge,
Yep.
Yeah.
huge.
So,
My
yeah,
house
the
is going
village
up
is
the
not
market.
slowing down at all. So, I do see things sitting a little longer on the market, and
I
I do
used
see
to say
some
get $1
small
million
decreases,
for it, but now I think I'm gonna get it.
but the village, I don't see anything slowing down yet. Okay.
Jess?
Any other questions? No?
Oh, I know.
Sorry, I can't really see you over there, Bob.
Oh, I know. I know. You're correct.
I'm off
I know.
kilter tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Leslie.
You're welcome.
David, did you have something you wanted to talk to us about? I don't want to keep you here all night.
I have a couple things.
Okay.
We had our, for anyone who doesn't know, Deirdre Houston, Dutchess County Legislator, we had our monthly meeting on Monday night, and we had a pretty light agenda. Most of it was on consent, except for we did have discussion in regards to the Ag and Farmland Protection Board and the inclusion into the Ag District 21 for individual parcels. It's a 2-month process. People apply. Doug's represents the town of Washington on the Ag Farmland Protection Board, so it's great to have a local
Yeah.
town board member on that board, so thank you, Doug, for serving on it. It's a compilation of different people and stakeholders across the county that are on that board, mostly a lot of farmers, and then people from the Soil and Water Conservation District, and then people from our planning department for the county. This year, there seemed to be more questions about what ag and farmland protection does and being included in the ag district does. Some towns came to advocate for some parcels to be included, and some towns and villages came to advocate for parcels to be excluded based on the recommendations of the Ag and Farmland Protection Board. We, as the county legislator, decided to, that the Ag and Farmland Protection Board is a standalone committee that does advise the county legislature, but certainly they know way more about farmland and protection and zoning and all that than we
Sure.
are ever going to know. So we took their list of inclusion and exclusion as true, and we adopted based on their recommendations. There's an 8-year review, so right now this year is year 3 of the 8-year review. So if you were included or excluded, if you were excluded, you could apply again the next year coming up. And we had instances where people applied last year, and due to application errors or just some questions, they were not recommended for inclusion. They reapplied this year and they got in. So we feel like the process worked. And then you're not in forever. It's an 8-year review. So anyone that was included for this year, they're in for 6 years. If the towns see a problem or villages see a problem, they can certainly make recommendations to the Ag and Farmland Protection Board, which we are going to basically accept their recommendations. So it was a long process this year, but we feel like we really trued the process up and that we have a good model moving forward using the Ag and Farmland Protection Board as it was convened to do. Route 82, I agree, Joe left, but I think it was a community effort to get Route 82 paved. I know that
Yeah.
a lot of town people called, a lot of you guys called, I called,
Yep.
Dee Dee Barrett's office called. I think it was one of those, it takes a village, and I think
Yep.
everybody getting involved in calling the state and really,
Yep.
really advocating for that paving. I know it's not a permanent fix, but I think the terminology has been banded, so it's way better because it was actually a hazard to drive down.
dangerous.
It was dangerous.
Yeah.
I remember saying at one point driving down the road, like, at what point does the road become impassable?
Yeah.
Some people ruin their suspension on their cars.
Yeah, I saw that,
And
and I
flat
can't imagine
tires.
living right there, like just the noise of cars. And lastly, I don't want to steal Danielle's thunder. But if you guys remember, I came to you in January and February, and I talked to you about my budget amendment for the Municipal Innovation Grant. I had advocated with my colleagues, and I proposed a budget amendment for $500,000 for a grant application process specific to senior centers in the Dutchess County. I had felt like we had done the Learn, Play, Create grant, which was really good for the youth. We had done the micro grants for veterans, so it's really kind of helped that demographic, but I really felt like the senior population we hadn't done much for in years. So I advocated for it. My colleagues all signed on to the amendment. It was unanimous. We had $500,000. I encouraged Danielle, and she took it, by the horns, and she made a great application. She and I met about it at least once, and I want to say that she has been awarded, and the town of Washington has been awarded $56,000 at the town park building to create a kitchen and a bathroom and start senior programming at the town hall.
That's
At the town
incredible.
park building,
Yeah.
which is, I was so happy to provide the funding, but it takes someone to apply for the
Yeah.
grants. You can put all the grant dollars out there, but if people don't apply, and she had a really good application, and so that's really good news for the town of
Yeah.
Washington.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll have more to follow on her report.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's really all I have for tonight.
Okay,
Unless you guys
well,
have questions for me.
that's good, thank you. No, it's awesome.
Thank you for making the,
And we'll see you Wednesday.
getting the Farmland Protection, Ag and Farmland Protection Board. If you want to think that it's a long process, come to some of those meetings.
I know. Well, and I did remind my colleagues on the floor that your meetings are open to the public. So
They are.
anyone can come and advocate for their parcel or advocate for parcels
We've
not to
had
be
some.
included. So,
Is this different than the right to farm law that you're?
This is different.
It's different.
Yep.
Okay.
This is for inclusion in the ag district, which 2 years ago, there was 4 different ag districts in Dutchess County. We consolidated it down to one, more of a bookkeeping thing
Yep.
than anything meaningful. Being in the ag district in connection with getting an ag assessment, some towns would like you to see in the ag district before you can apply for an ag assessment. They use it. There's some benefits to being in both. If legal issues come up, it's easier for ag markets to get involved if you are in the ag district and getting an ag assessment. So there's benefits for farmers to be in the ag district, which is why we kind of police it a little bit to make sure that it's not anybody.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Jonathan?
Yep. All right, so for the month of July, there's 27 inspection and site visits, 11 permits were issued, 1 building permit was renewed, 4 certificates of occupancy were issued, 3 certificates of compliance. At the end of July, there were 7 expired building permits, no fire inspections in June, 2 cases being overdue, and no new building-only complaints were received. For zoning, month of July, there were 8 municipal searches requested and completed, 4 site visits, received and completed 1 FOIL request, and no new zoning complaints, but 1 that was ongoing down on Tinkertown Road was finally resolved. They had multiple issues with the fire code, the zoning code, property maintenance code. They had a lot, but they finally got that all wrapped up, so that one's finally closed out. Kyle helped me out with it a little bit too, so.
Oh, good, I'm glad to hear it got closed. I thought that was going in for the long haul.
I thought it was too.
Nice, good. Yeah, that saves a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's about it.
Good. Thanks, John.
Yep.
Okay, Danielle?
All right. With the announcement of the grant, I just want to invite everybody to come on Wednesday, the 20th, to join us at the Trilides building. Sue Serena will be there, Deirdre will be there. Hopefully, as many of you is going to be there. Chrissy's unable to make it, but Kristen will be there to cover for her. We're going to have a breakfast for the seniors. It starts at 9:30. Sue will be there at 10. And then we'll have a little senior fun time after Sue leaves. We're going to play bingo and play games and stuff, so that they can get an idea as to what our senior center is going to be all about. And it gives them the opportunity to talk and see what kind of programs they want to happen in that building.
They've got to be tickled to death to have a place like that.
I hope so. They have a small one in town and they collect dues for that. And it's a lot of work for them to do all of the, collecting and bookkeeping. And one of them just told me today, or the other day, that how exhausted she is in doing it. And I said, well, you don't have to any longer. They do really like that spot in St. Joe's, but maybe once they get a taste of somebody else organizing things, then maybe they don't have to meet there.
Yeah, good.
In front of you, I have 3 resolutions. The first one is 8001, and it is to go over camp fees. Since we're changing from the 3 hours to a full day, that will change the fees. So I gave you the hours the last time, and this time is the fees. It's reflecting the hours that we're offering and minimum wage for next year.
This is as a result of,
A full day.
huh?
A full day.
No, but I mean, the reason for the full day is because of,
Parents have been asking for it for years.
they have,
And our numbers went down from 108 to 82. So they're showing us that they really need full day. There's a lot of families that are both working parents and they need full coverage. And this
Okay.
will help provide around the same hours that a school day provides. They can go as early as 7:45 to as late as 4 o'clock.
have any questions?
Okay. I do not.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion
Mike?
So this-
to accept this recommended rates for
Okay.
full-day summer camp in 2026.
Second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Bob, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
The next resolution is 8002, and that is for a recreation assistant. Abigail Park will be the new rec assistant. She'll have a 6-month probationary period.
Okay, I was going to ask about that. Okay.
And this is already in the budget.
Yes, it is.
It's already in the budget.
So,
Jody, is this Jody's daughter?
Yes.
so when she's, what are her hours? I know it's part-time, so does she have,
So she's going to be acting as the senior coordinator for
Mhm.
now until we find a senior coordinator to
Okay.
take over that spot. So she's going to start planning on doing calendars and running the program.
Okay.
That will be on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from about 9 o'clock until 2:30.
Okay.
And then she'll be covering some Saturdays because we have soccer on Saturdays, so she'll be helping with soccer games.
Okay.
She'll start on Monday, she'll come and fill out paperwork and I'll give her a tour of everything and we'll start working on exactly what projects she'll.
Is this position going to eventually require you to work less hours?
I'm always gonna find something to do.
That would be
We got
nice.
programs to make up
I know.
and people to please, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. No, seriously though. She could be a help to you. Any questions? And if not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
And this does not affect the budget, although it will carry into the 26 budget.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution, it's supposed to be 8003. That is the lease for the toddler program that is held at Lyle Church. I think there was a 5% increase. So Gary, before you, you have the lease to sign, if you agree to it.
Yes, I see it. Seems reasonable.
Okay.
Now, this eventually is going to end up being
There's a
at the
typo.
Terlitas building?
No, originally when we thought that that was gonna happen,
Is that
we
the
would have
total?
division wall
Oh,
that
okay.
could separate the seniors and the toddler program. And that was about $30,000 to make that happen, and that did not get into the grant. That was not affordable. So we're staying there until.
But at some point, we could put that wall in,
We could.
and that would affect us to be able to use that for that purpose, right?
Could, yeah.
30,000, you said, for the wall?
At least, yeah.
The strategic committee's taking a look at all that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
All right, good.
Because you don't want to put something in that maybe you have to take out.
Yep. Okay, so I guess a motion
For the toddler program, right?
for the
To sign the
toddler
lease.
program and then
Yeah.
also to sign the lease.
Yes. So I'll make that motion.
A second to that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chrissy, do you want me to sign this copy of the lease or?
Perfect, yes, thank you.
Okay, the last day of camp was August 8th, and all the kids were happy, especially the parents were happy when we announced the full day happening. We had an ice cream social / art show / slideshow. We scooped 100 scoops of ice cream courtesy of Stewart's, so thank you to them.
Wow.
And we had enough ice cream so that they could have ice cream on the last day of camp too. So what better day to finish camp?
Right.
To have ice cream.
Yeah. Wow.
Some people did ask if they could have a half day. That we are not offering a half day. It's either, you know, the 2-week cycle of a full day, and that's it. So if people do ask you, which they probably will,
Mhm.
it's just going to be full days offered at this point.
Okay.
There are scholarships available if anyone needs help with that, but it's still quite affordable. At our camp show, there was only 40 parents, so they just keep showing us that there's a lot of parents that are working and can't make these things. So we'll keep that in mind for next year, whether or not we want to invite parents to come. It might be a burden on them, and it might upset children to see that some parents come and some parents can't make it. So our soccer program has low numbers, so our registration is still open. If anybody out there would like to still sign up their child for soccer, it's open. This Sunday, we are leaving at 8:30 for a casino trip to Monticello. The people that are going to that will receive $20 of gambling credit and $15 of food credit. Basketball registration is opened. And the Millbrook Marathon has reached out to me, and they would like to do the marathon on April 12th. And I think we should get a contract for that. So I can work with Kyle on making a contract.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right.
Especially what we went through this past season
Right.
with the
Yeah.
parking, the difficulty with the parking and all that.
John Morris, who came here and talked to all of you, wants to reach out to Rugies and speak to them about an alternate for parking there if the weather is bad. So I don't know whose number to give to them, but if you could just let me know who they should reach out to.
Sure.
I'll be in touch. This year, the park has had many upgrades with tables, grills, buildings, sign, and more. There's a committee working on the master plan that is meeting next week. The pool is closing this Sunday. The lifeguards are going back to school now, so this is about the same time as last year. And the day after that closes, we're draining the pool. We still will have some facility rentals. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 facility rentals, which includes the fire department, a community group that came in and asked you for the day.
Leadership.
Fire department, and we do end the season with a wedding at the building, so that's exciting, from a local couple.
Nice.
Matt and I are currently working on upgrades for the town park, soccer fields, and town hall for our budget season. And that's it.
The reason the park is, the pool is closing is because of the lifeguards?
Senior lifeguards.
They go
Senior
back-
lifeguards.
college
We have to
kids.
have at least one 18 or
One
older
18.
lifeguard there, and they're going back to college.
Okay, because I had several people ask about staying open until like Labor Day. Okay.
We were
I kind of
able,
thought that was it.
years ago, we were able to because some of the senior lifeguards were Hudson Valley Community College.
Okay.
I mean,
Dutchess.
Dutchess Community College.
Yeah.
And they were staying local. But most of the guards now go away, and in
Yeah.
fact, you've already lost almost all of
Is
them.
leaving today.
Almost all of
We
them.
do have one Dutchess Community College person, but with everybody going on vacations also, besides that,
Got it.
it's hard to keep them.
And Danielle and I have spoken as we move forward with expanding her team. Maybe one of the senior people that work directly under Danielle could become a senior lifeguard or a waterfront person that's certified, but not necessarily directly involved during the summer with the waterfront. But that person could take over for the end of August through Labor Day, and that way the public could still have access to
Yeah.
it. Because you would meet that requirement.
Yeah,
And we're waterfront requirement, we're not swimming pool requirement, which is a different certification
Yeah.
for those guards.
Which we do have a lifeguard that is going to be doing the lifeguard certification for us in May. She's already set that up and talked to people about certifying them so that they don't have to go to another source. And one of our lifeguards also is doing some aquatic aerobics classes next year. She's interested in doing that.
Fantastic,
We've had a
yeah.
few seniors that showed interest of it, and we're going to try and make that happen.
good. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're just unstoppable.
Hey, Matt, you got the floor.
So the second park shed was delivered on the 29th of July. The same as the shed before, it's 14 by 20. That will be used to store the tables and the chairs when they're not being used for camp and whatnot. I built a new park entry sign. I demoed the old one, got rid of all the vegetation. Took about a week and a half, put the signs up, painted it.
And you gotta
Is
see
is
it.
it up now?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I bet it is. Well, thank you, man, that's awesome.
Well,
It's better than professional. It's gorgeous. Gotta go look at it.
Yeah,
the town hall windows. So on July 31st and August 1st, as Lisa said before, 9 windows were replaced. So the 8 up top on the second facing the parking lot, and then this transom window here was replaced. I'm trying to talk to that company about what the prices would be for next year to replace 9 more. And see,
Okay.
I'd like to replace the ones in the back here above the parking lot on the first story. There's 7 there and maybe 2 we go around to the other side of the building. I'm not sure yet. At the same time that happened, I replaced the flooring in Lisa's office. Got new flooring, baseboard, shoe molding, all of it.
fantastic.
I won't miss my carpet.
And the floor, you gotta go look at it. It's beautiful.
Is that,
Looks really
Absolutely
nice.
phenomenal.
Right in the office up
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Looks so clean.
Yeah. So I have 2.5 boxes left over. And that's a special order, so you can't return it. I would need one more, one more to, actually, this bathroom up here, that floor is deteriorating on the second floor. I can re-floor that next year. We already have the materials for it, just order one more box.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's a great report. Thank you for everything you've done.
Well,
Thank you.
Incredible help. Thanks, Matt. Tony?
Good evening, y'all. Hope you're well.
Yep.
Been a pretty busy month and a half with the animals. I think, you know, the nice weather has something to do with it. Everybody's letting their dogs run. So we've had quite a few calls on dogs running loose. Luckily, all of them except one have returned home. We did get one dog, which we seized and housed at H-Bars, which was not claimed. So the town did have to pay for that.
Wasn't
and
chipped or-
Chrissy, I think it was around 500, right? So the town did have to come out of pocket for that.
There was no chip or
No
leash,
chip,
nothing?
no ID of any kind.
Nobody called it
came
in.
forward, but it was adopted out to a nice family, yeah, from what I understand. So, happy ending and all.
Good.
Other than that, it's been just fair weather friendly dogs running around, you know.
So at what point does it become our responsibility? At what time period?
So, well, having HFARs house them as our shelter with the town,
Right.
between 5 and 7 days, they'll hold them. If they're not claimed at that time, then they'll go up for adoption or unfortunately euthanasia, which luckily we haven't had to deal with. All the dogs that we've picked up since I've been doing this have been friendly enough to be able to be adopted out. But if nobody comes forward for them, then it's the town's responsibility to pay for their medical care and the housing and food until somebody does adopt them. Unless we can find the legal owner, which we have to go after.
Well, who makes the determination as to whether you euthanize them or whether they just keep housing them? Or?
It's New York state law. The ags and markets have a determination through HVARs that it's a pretty fast process. Most likely within 2 or 3 days, if somebody's missing their dog, you're going to find where they're at if they're looking for them.
Yeah.
My assumption is this is a dog that was dumped, unfortunately.
Okay.
You know, somebody couldn't handle it and just drove it down the road and let it out, which is disgusting, but
Yeah,
it happens. Luckily, we're in an area that doesn't happen that often. But if you talk to, you know, people in the city, Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, in the big cities, it happens all the time. And they have huge budgets that they have to pay for these animals. So,
Tony, how long do we hold a dog until they put it up for adoption?
Typically 5 days.
5 days?
Yes.
Okay. Because you've heard the story of our $9,000 dog, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Tony, if with everyone having Ring doorbells and stuff with cameras and stuff.
Yep.
And you mentioned somebody drove down the road, let the dog out and dumped it. If we were to able to identify that person, does that become your enforcement or does that become a police department enforcement?
It can be both. It depends on how far we want to pursue it. And it depends on what a justice would like.
So it would end up in our court?
It would, yes.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Other than that, that's about it. I did put in an application for a grant through Ags and Markets that came out with a grant for a chip scanner for municipalities, which they're around $2,000 to $3,000 depending on the model. So hopefully we'll be looking at that. That would be really nice because typically at this point now, if I pick up a dog, I've got to bring it to a vet. Like Country Comfort is great. I can just swing in there, they'll scan it, they have one. But it would be nice to have one in the truck just to speed things up.
Yeah, get the animal home quick.
What does it tell you when you?
So
Tells them the owner.
Yeah,
It gives all that information?
it'll give you a number, then you go on to a
right.
registration online and put that number in, and it tells you if somebody has registered that animal through that number. Now, sometimes it doesn't always work because a lot of times people will buy a puppy, put a chip in it, and then that puppy gets sold or transferred to somebody else, and it's not updated, but usually that first person still has the information of where it's gone.
Pretty
Sometimes
nice.
we have to track it down a little bit, but it's not bad.
That's
But
awesome.
it's a really nice resource to have, so hopefully that'll work out, we'll see.
Yeah. I hope you get it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yep.
Like I said, it's not the end of the world if we don't, the local vets, but after hours, it's nice.
Yeah, make it.
It's nice to have.
Absolutely,
So,
sure.
I'm sure soon we'll
How do you find out
have
about it?
chips put in my wrist.
What do you find out?
So I have to carry it.
Probably.
We already had it.
It's in your phone.
Yeah.
There's probably a date on the paperwork, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Bob, there is human ones. We got a grant of St. Francis to get chips when we were doing rural medicine. And we didn't get selected, but the federal government was offering grant monies for those, especially in rural areas. Because people with traveling medical records weren't following people, so the chips needed to be, and hey, it's science fiction.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, yeah, that's all I've got,
Good.
other than on a personal note. I haven't been up to the town pool in a long time, and I went there yesterday, and I was highly impressed.
Oh.
The amount of work that's been done up there and the changes are unbelievable.
Yep.
So to Danielle and Matt and everybody else that's done work up there, and I'm sure looking at it, what you see is a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes is a lot more, I'm sure. But I just want to acknowledge them.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. That's very nice. Yep.
Sorry you didn't get any turtles this year.
Yeah, no turtles. Yeah.
Thanks.
I did get a smash burger, and that was delicious.
Oh, that's good.
Important.
That's all I got, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Chrissy?
Okay, so for the clerk's office, for the month of July, we brought in revenue of $8,777. We are entering our busy season with issuing hunting and fishing licenses.
Yeah.
Municipalities are all required to have their websites and email addresses changed to end in .gov. We are right now .org. So we're in the process of transferring from .org to .gov. It's just not an easy process. So hopefully by next month's meeting, I'll be able to let you know that we are .gov.
Oh, okay.
And also Community Day is September 20th, and the town of Washington, we're going to have a booth, table, so to speak, I guess, a table, and we are going to just have information about recreation programs, what, anything with the seniors, any kind of programs that are going on, and we could have a little pamphlet or something that lets everyone know that we have an officiant up here who could do weddings.
Where are you going to set up?
They haven't done the map yet, so we're not sure, but I'll let you know when the Community Day Committee lets me know.
Okay.
And then for the clerk's office, we'll just have our transfer station permits, dog license permits, just kind of informational
Yeah,
information. And then I'm just going to reach out to the other departments in the building to see if they have anything they want us
Yep.
to have, just have a presence. And then we're going to do a craft, maybe have some munchkins. Danielle's inspiring all of us. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have. And then Lois is not here, and she asked me, just if you guys want to take a look at her report, on the second page, she's got budget amendments. It looks like there's 4 of them. And if you guys were comfortable without her here, making a motion and accepting them, she had mentioned we had spoke about the park and pool improvements.
Yeah.
Both of those last month's meeting, so it's up to you guys if you're comfortable.
That grant money hasn't come back yet. We have finished all the paperwork so far, so I think that they said that it would take like a month once everything is through.
Yeah, I asked her about that today. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to
Yeah,
accept
they're
these
minor.
budget amendments.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
She feels bad.
And that's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike.
Court update for July. There were 33 charges against 30 defendants. Of those charges, there were 10 speeding tickets. The amount of money going through the court as through July, $6,550 in July was deposited. Year-to-date, $18,754 have been deposited. After the net from the state, our net year-to-date is $15,415, and that is through 6 months, July. Next is the Ethics Committee update. I spoke with Laura. No activities, they're just planning for the mandatory mandatory education that has to take place in the fall. Strategic planning update. The committee, as was mentioned, will be meeting next Thursday. The teams have been working for 2 months now, touring the grounds, all hours, going during camp, going during pool time, going up there on weekends, Sundays, and so on. The meeting will be held up at the town pool because the committee has not had the opportunity yet to tour the empty swimming pool. So by starting to drain it on Monday, by Thursday, it should be fairly well drained so we can take a look at the infrastructure. This is going to be fact-finding, this particular meeting, where they'll come back and tell us what they think or see as the priority that needs to be addressed. Then we'll discuss how we prioritize that, and then look at two things: how we rectify some of the problems, and also what are the immediate problems, and then also working with our PR subcommittee, how can we reach out to the community and ask them, and we'll probably title it something along the lines of reimagining the Mabbittsville recreation area. And that way we get public feedback of what they physically would like to see up there, not program, but physical entities. And so that will be part of it. We had hoped to have this wrapped up by the fall. I doubt it. We're probably going to be going into the spring because we may want to bring in some contractors to give us some suggestions. I was informed, I think the last meeting, Danielle mentioned, Newburgh got a major grant, and last night during the recreation meeting, one of the rec board members mentioned he has seen what Newburgh has done with the grant they got as far as a swimming pool, a little splash area, and so on. So I think we will probably end up bringing in consultants, and then possibly end up doing a rendering of what the vision could be. So it's good that we're addressing it. I've had a lot of people say, hey, it's nice that the board and the government of the board and volunteers from the community are taking a look at it because it really needs it. And some of the work that Matt has done really has done improvements, but that's stuff that he can handle. This other kind of stuff is going to be major undertakings. Along those lines, we've run into several instances, even with the work that's been done under the grant, where the county has required us to be looking for the assistance of engineer, a town engineer, or engineers to give us blueprints to do some work. And I spoke to Gary, and I looked up the state law. You can share town engineers from town to town. So moving forward with some of these major renovations with buildings, major renovations that may be taking place up there, we may want to think about either looking at the possibility of a shared town engineer from place to place, or perhaps, Kyle, I'm not sure if you can do this, but doing a retainer with an engineering company so that when you need that kind of thing, Danielle is not accepting that responsibility and Matt is not. Jonathan can't because it would be a conflict of interest, but looking at having that professional person help us work with the contractors like we're doing with Collier, so that we get that professionalism that we're absolutely going to need on some of these projects. So I know you were going to speak to one of your friends that's an engineer somewhere.
I have a cousin that's an engineer.
The rule on the state level is they have to have a degree in engineering from a university. They have to have 4 to 6 years experience before they can become a town engineer. So that's pretty strict, and it would not be fiscally responsible for us to have a full-time one. But maybe shared one might work out for us. Budget preparation suggestion. I spoke to Lois, and if she was here, she would reiterate our conversation. Budget prep is right around the corner. And if you recall last year, we got into discussions towards the end of the budget prep period, particularly with the budget lines of salaries and titles and so on. And we did that kind of at the end of the process. And it created a little consternation, but it also put a lot of pressure on Lois to go back and redo all the budget papers and redo the submission to us and go through. My suggestion is maybe we move some of that ahead and have the talks early in the process so everybody's on the same page. We're not getting these immediate meetings after we've made decisions and so on. So we should maybe consider that, and that will help Lois. At the last meeting, because of what happened on July 4th with the 250th celebration of the United States, I mentioned that perhaps we should look to see what the town might want to plan. So I reached out to the town historian, Peter Devers. And Peter indicated that the Historical Society is working on doing something for the celebration. Unfortunately, we do not seem to have any revolutionary soldiers in our graveyard. Quakers were against fighting. But defeated British were marched through our town and our township down to Washington Hollow. A reading of the Declaration of Independence in the tribute garden might be a part of a worthy celebration. So that was kind of the initial conversation I had with him. But then he came back with an interesting observation, and I shared it with Joe, and I shared it with Jonathan, because Jonathan, after hearing what was brought forward, wanted to be part of a committee. And this is what he said. I had indicated in our meeting about a time capsule. Peter thinks that's a pretty good idea, but he also said, and I'll read, as you probably know, there are no extant records of the town of Washington prior to 1866, when George Hunter Brown started keeping them. I've been piecing together a chronology of town supervisors going back into colonial era, and one name that stands out is Daniel Northrop. He was born in 1773 and died in 1855. He was the supervisor of the town of Washington for over 20 years. As supervisor, he was on the Dutchess County Board of Supervisors for all of those years, representing us in the county legislature. He was also the superintendent of Washington schools for about the same time period. He was a New York assemblyman for one term. Northrop's gravestone is in the cemetery behind St. Peter's Church, along with his wife's and many family members. His headstone has been broken near the base and is now propped up. He was arguably the most important community leader in the early 1800s. It might be a nice town project to restore this stone and perhaps add a bronze plaque to its back telling a bit about him. Doing a bit of landscaping around his burial place to dress it up too should not cost a lot. I can take you to see it sometimes if you wish. And then he did a little footnote. Did you know that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are buried in that cemetery? They were the twin sons of John L. and Sybil Northrop. So the Northrop family seems to be a target. And I spoke to Joe and Jonathan, and they both said they would work with Peter to take a look at maybe doing that as our project, along with perhaps strategizing in how we could do a time capsule and bury it for the 250th and maybe have people open it in the 300th anniversary. So that's where we stand on that.
Good. Very good.
Okay?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's it.
That's good. Very good. Okay, Joe?
So brace yourself, my report is very lengthy. The ZBA did not have anything on the agenda for last month, so I do not have a report.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Good, Joe. Doug?
However, the next meeting is August 19th, and there will be many
There'll be
items on the
stuff, yeah,
agenda.
I'm sure.
Planning board met on August 5th. 3 items on the agenda, really. Kilern Road project was the first one, which took up the most time. Changes to the plan with no chip and seal going on was the biggest item, I suppose. Colliers gave written responses to all the questions that came up at the July meeting, which the highlights are there will be no uniform width to the road, no mature trees will be cut, the least amount of vegetation to be removed. If you average it out, it will be less than 1 foot on each side of the road, the length of the road. It's not a large amount. One resident emailed Joe about speed bumps or electronic speed control signs, speed limit signs on the road, which speed bumps are illegal on the town road. That was the only new information for that. The public hearing was open from the month before. That was closed. The Planning board gave the indication that the resolution to approve the Clearing Road project will be ready next month when we finish SECR, which is done now. The second item was Short Road. Castertano's on Short Road seeking a site plan approval for a 2-story plus a basement addition. They already had ZBA approval. The public hearing was opened, no comments, public hearing was closed. Resolution to approve pending fees paid, approved. The third item was the Weston Hotel Partners, which is a company they operate in Vermont. They are looking at the old Daytop property. It was a pre-application meeting where they were seeking information. Their initial idea is to have rooms in the old building, spa in the newer building, possibly a restaurant. An architect has been hired, but the important part of this is they have not purchased the property yet. So this is just pre-information gathering kind of a
See what they need to do.
yeah, see how deep they were going to get in before they pulled the trigger.
Smart.
The last item, I guess there was 4 items, I apologize, was the ongoing discussion of escrow fees and costs.
About what?
Escrow fees and costs associated with the planning board. The cost, and this is probably my fault that I brought this up months ago with Susan and the planning board, but the costs get pretty large between consultants, legal fees, all of this stuff. For some of them, I'm not sure that it gets kind of out of control for smaller projects. A lot of back and forth on that. The working theory now is that some of them, they will not ask for comments from the consultant, which will eliminate some of those costs. I mean, right off the bat, $500 on every application. And then they will use, the larger projects, they will use AKRF's recommendation on how much to put into escrow to start with. And because of this, I've been doing a little bit of a deeper dive, and we found multiple applicants dating back a couple of years where we were still owed money as the town of Washington for planning board applications, fees that haven't been paid yet. Lisa, our planning board secretary, is working hard on this now. She has a good handle on it. She has a good system. I sat down with her today. We went over it. Susan has been working on it with her as well. She has collected about half of the money. We're down from about $39,000 that was owed down into the $17,000 range. We have that, and we have it under control now as far as her monitoring that. The biggest problem that we have is the lag in billing from AKRF and to a lesser extent Vanderwater. It runs 2 months behind. Usually when a resolution is approved, it's so these ones that were approved in August, the town won't get bills for those for 2 months. So trying to hold up a building permit or something for 2 months. They sign off on everything, but now we have more bills that come in 2 months later. Whether or not there's enough money in the escrow to cover it is a 50-50 in the past. Hopefully, pulling the layers off and shining a light on it, we'll have a better handle on this going forward. And we won't run into this problem anymore. Maybe there's a way we can cut our billing lag to half of that time?
It's a challenge because what happens is, just so you guys understand how the billing works in our office and probably everywhere that deals with this. So the month ends in June, right? So you got June 30th, the month ends. And time is put in. Thereafter, like somewhere around, like by the middle of the month, and you got to make sure all the time is in, by the middle of the month of the following, that's when I'll get what's called my red book, which is all the bills, all the itemized, somewhere around the middle. I'll get that back. I go through every single bill, every invoice, and make sure that there's any changes or something. That process takes several days to do because there's a lot. Then that goes back to the bookkeeper. The bookkeeper then processes it, and that's why you don't get the bill until, so now it's July, you won't get the bill until the beginning of August.
Right.
So that's why it's a June bill that you get at the beginning of August. Believe me, we'd love to get money faster. That's just typically the process we go into. So what we've always told boards, planning boards and zoning boards to do, you know, when you're doing the approval, you see what's left in escrow, and you let the applicant know, listen, you know, and I think that's a great idea, have ACAR, that's what a lot of other places do. They ask the consultant to give us an estimate. And if the estimate's shy or short, and, you know, well.
Before we get there.
Yeah, exactly,
Pass.
exactly. So, you know, to see, if you've done your approval, if your board's doing its approval, and the secretary looks and sees there's $10 in escrow, she should probably ask for something right then and there, you know, just to make sure. And then look, the applicant's gonna get, if it's over, the applicant gets refunded what's ever over, and then you're less likely gonna run into that shortcoming. It's not a perfect system.
We certainly didn't, this doesn't go on often, but an applicant that takes 3 years to have something in their backyard, and we didn't nearly have what we should have had in escrow.
Yeah, how are you gonna feel about
How
that?
do you think?
Well, the flip side, you know, we have some of these that are long since, you know, settled.
We've had hiccups with
Yeah.
planning and zoning secretaries too.
And I think
so
a
that-
turnover
Yeah.
in that position is what led to this problem.
Yeah.
So, but we are on top of it. I think we have a really good solution going forward in the plan, and I don't think it'll happen again.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome. Very good.
then, the only other thing, the right to farm draft, did you get through that?
I thought I had worked on, I thought we talked about it. No, I don't believe I did. I don't even remember where we left off on it, I apologize. Can you refresh my recollection?
We gave to, in last month's meeting, I gave you the draft that we had. This might be I can email it to you as well, but that might be the last one.
No, okay.
But,
Sorry, dropped the ball. I'll get something to you by the next week.
okay.
You're looking to amend the code to have this included?
Local law, yep.
Got it.
We did that, then that's all I have.
Good.
That's it.
Thanks, Doug.
The windows upstairs, there's two little small pieces missing. The people at the window place, they know, they're gonna make sure they get it to us. They'll have to install the one piece, the other one is just a little handle cover. So that's good. The floor came out amazing in Lisa's office, Matt's amazing. The AC unit in here, which was flooding the record room in there, which she caught right away and was able to mitigate it, destroying anything, ended up being a plug drain. It was no big deal. He just cut a section out, put a new section in. It was not a big deal. The one upstairs was leaking on the floor in the big room. There was a miscommunication somewhere with the installer when he installed them 5 years ago, telling anybody that we know, we asked everybody, he never told anybody how the filters need to be cleaned every so often, things like that. So he came, this is the second trip for the same air conditioner, and he came and the filter was plugged up again. And so now we know we need to probably clean it every couple weeks just during the summer because it's only air conditioned. The same unit, the cage that blows is full of stuff. He's gonna come back, clean the other two that he put in, all three. So we start fresh with 3 clean units, and he's gonna show Matt what to do, and maybe show me also, in case Matt can't get to him, that it's just a matter of climbing up a ladder, run him under some water, so we won't have trouble with that again. We have this tree problem that was brought to my attention by the Bailey property in Madisonville, and also in the old McLaughlin house. So Joe was nice enough to come up with one of his guys and look at everything with me. It's not something they can handle. We're trying to get a day's worth of work, so to hire a guy to do a day's worth and take care of those trees. I did call the lady who owns the McLaughlin property today because we did a little research, and I went back up there and I looked around for any property markers, and I couldn't find any, but I think those trees are on her property, so we may not have to touch those. So when she calls me back, whenever she gets around, I left 2 messages. She lives in the city, and they come up on weekends, so if worst comes to worst, I'll go there Saturday and talk to her. But even on partial access, even though that's not correct,
Yeah.
it shows that her property goes beyond the little stream that comes down from the road, and they're right there, those trees, right on that edge of the stream. And they're dead, and they're gonna hit her shed is what's gonna happen. They're really nice lady. So
Did
that.
she get a survey? I mean, to interrupt you. Did she get a survey when she bought the property?
I don't know because I haven't talked to her since, so I'm trying to get a hold of her.
This is off Little Rest?
No, the Bailey house is off Little Rest. That is definitely on our property.
Okay.
There's 2 skinny, tall trees.
Because Jonathan has a layout in his system of the entire area, because I was looking for that access road.
Right, I have it. I have a copy of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's definitely our property, those 2. The other 2, the other 3 or 4 that the lady had put a rope around there, we don't think those are ours.
Okay.
So I'll get a hold of her. I had the hold harmless agreement from the fire department here that Boscardine signed, and you'll need to sign it. And that's when they do the, tear the house down.
Yeah.
The fire department's gonna tear it down, remove it, and put a couple of containers. Thank you, Kyle, for doing that. It's,
So Kyle's looked at it.
Kyle did it.
He did it. Oh.
So
Okay.
I'll give that to Gary. I had
So
asked
it's good to go for
Boscardine,
him. Yeah.
because it's just it's a photocopy that he signed, see it?
Did you see a copy?
And I asked him to call me so he could
They
sign.
did.
I have a
must not have seen it because
full-fledged one
we asked
here.
the questions.
And
So-
if I have
I
him
didn't see
sign
it,
that one
sorry.
too, it'll be good for our files.
So you want me to sign this one?
Oops.
Yeah, and we can give it to, yeah. And Kyle was also nice enough to do a hold harmless for volunteers. My grandson needs 20 hours for high school, and Kyle drew one up, which is good for the Boy Scouts too, to have that are working up at the field, so we have those in a file. And my grandson signed one, so he's helping Matt dig ditches and stuff, which is good for him, so.
Right.
Thank you all for that.
Yeah.
And and Matt has a great idea. I also had talked to the people who installed those windows to give us and they're gonna stop by, take a look at these. So we maybe replace another 9 and put them in the budget. And they're gonna give us a rough idea. They know we have to put it out to bid, so they will do that. Welsh Sanitation and Royal Karting. I met with them over 2 weeks ago at the landfill about new compactors, or a new compactor. And we've been paying rent on 2 containers forever. And they were really nice. Vinnie Nunziato from Royal came. They wanted to meet me there and look at everything. And 2 guys from Welsh came, Keith Monty, and the other guy didn't get a card, so I couldn't remember his name. They were all happy to be there. They looked everything over. Jimmy couldn't be there. He had to go somewhere or something, but we showed him Joe Mag and and myself showed them everything, and they're supposed to get back to me. I haven't heard from them yet. I'll be calling them again tomorrow, shake the tree a little bit, and see if we can get those containers that we're using. We've probably paid,
10 times what they're worth.
10 times what they're worth.
Yeah.
I already priced containers delivered to the site, and they're not that expensive. So if they want to keep charging us rent for those, I'm going to tell them to take them away. And we'll just buy a couple. And unless they want to give us those, not charge us anymore. Gotten quite a few phone calls, even Gary brought it to my attention about the old Galli house being like a zombie property. So I called the Department of Financial Services in New York State, and I had to fill out a big form, which I submitted online. The very next day, I got a reply back that thanking me for, making the revelation, and it has a lien on it from some plumbers. It has, I think somebody did some research and found out that the two people own it, two different names, a guy and a girl, a guy and a lady, and the man passed away supposedly. So I don't know. We sent letters, Jonathan sent letters, they came back to where we send the tax bills. The tax bills are up to date on the property, but nobody's in the house. It's full of furniture. There's an abandoned car in the driveway, and miraculously, a couple days later, after we got the letter back, and they said it's probably in foreclosure, and they're not allowed to give us the exact person's name or any complete details, but they are going to follow up on it, and miraculously, a big tractor showed up and cut all the 10 feet of high grass down. So, didn't do a very good job, but they got most of it down. Looks a little better, at least you got sight distance. So Jonathan is going to contact the guy from Financial Services just to follow up. That'll be good contact for him for the future when we get this problem, because we have a few others that he mentioned. I don't know where they are.
Hold on. Do you happen to notice who the tractor was that mowed it?
No.
Well, the
I
state
didn't
mowed
see
part
it.
of it.
Who did?
The state mowed the
Oh.
front part. I don't know who did the rest of it.
Don't know.
That would have been an easy way to get a better phone number or an address.
I know.
He obviously got
Yeah.
hired.
Yeah, he got hired by, probably
Somebody.
by the bank, I would imagine.
Probably.
I'm sure the state notified the bank, and the letters, if you get a chance, you get a Jonathan's, you should read those from the state. They're pretty good, it's a strict thing that they're trying to clamp down on. That's about it. Couple things are we going into executive session? And I have a few things. Executive session, but that's about it.
Howard, do you have anything you'd like to?
Yes,
talk
I have a
about?
little brief thing. I'd like to say first, I was very impressed with Bob, noting that Gary Wilbur was our milkman, remembering that.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I bring it up is because Doug mentioned the fact that fees are very expensive, and maybe some people shouldn't be seeing on part of the planning board. They should be passed, small projects should be passed by like Gary Wilbur, because AKRF is getting to be very expensive for everybody to
Yeah.
pay them. And I was glad to hear there was some consideration that people with small projects could possibly be waived for having to pay those expenses. That's why I brought it up. It still wasn't present, you remember?
Oh, he used to be my milkman.
Yep.
Gary delivered on the.
So,
Did you, brother?
Is that something that's, sorry, Bob, go ahead.
No.
Is that something that looks like it may be in the works for people with small projects, that those AKRF type fees?
I have to say, Howard, because we can't get away sometimes with having the consultant, and the town will not swallow up their fees for individual people.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. would they be exempt partially, and for very small projects having to go through that process, you could decide that if it's a very small process, it doesn't have to go that far into the planning as big ones do, and that therefore there would be some fees they may not have to pay. That's what I'm, is that still on the table?
Changes are on the table. What
Yeah.
changes are yet to be determined?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm really interested in asking.
Okay.
Everything else seems
Okay.
fine.
Well, we have an executive session that we need to get into, so, have a motion to do that.
I motion to go into executive.
Good night, everybody.
Second and discuss
All in favor?
Aye.
personnel matters.
Personnel matter, what did you say, personnel matter?
Yes.
This is the communication